You know, for many veterans wrestling with the demons of war, the journey to healing and to happiness could begin on a bicycle. This is Ride to Recovery. It's a series of bike tours across the United States, each one stretching for hundreds of miles. And many of the wounded vets say it transforms them. They sleep better, they find new friends, they reawaken a hopefulness that had grown pretty dim. John Worden is the founder of Ride to Recovery. He joins us from today's stop in Gulfport, Mississippi. So, John, thank you so much, first of all, for the work you're doing. Secondly, I know you and the program were featured on 60 Minutes last night, and I watched part of it. You discussed a particularly heartbreaking case of Clay Hunt, a former Marine haunted by PTSD. I want to listen here to something you said.
He was the darkest of the dark. You could look in his eyes and you could see that hopelessness.
Could you ever articulate what it was exactly?
He would always say, you know what, John, I don't feel like being here anymore.
Meaning?
He should have been killed in Iraq with his buddies.
I know you took him into your home. You did almost everything possible to try to help him, and yet we need to point out that he commits suicide at the age of just 28. Is his death a sobering reminder of just how haunting PTSD is, you know, to you and the people you've met?
No, there's no question. It's a very difficult thing because each person that has PTSD deals with it in a different way, and it manifests itself with triggers that you just don't know what they are. And with Clay, it was always trying to help people and make the world a better place, and he was frustrated by the fact that it wasn't happening the way he thought it should, and he didn't think that, you know, the support for veterans was as good as it should have been, and it really frustrated him. And riding his bike with Ride to Recovery really helped him deal with that and made him a better person. He really liked riding bikes. I mean, when he was living with me, we would go mountain biking near my house and really have a good time, and it was the happiest he ever was.
So, John, I mean, where are we falling short here? I mean, what do vets with PTSD need from us that we're not giving them?
That's a very complicated question, but the short answer is I think that many people look at PTSD as a medical problem when PTSD is more of a life problem. It's how do you adjust from the chaos that you had in Iraq and Afghanistan, and now you come back to America, your family's different, your community's different, and you're treated different, and the support system that these guys have is just not there. And that's what we try to help with Ride to Recovery, is try to create that sense of family, community, where these guys have other vets that have gone through what they're going through. They have someone to talk to. They have an outlet by riding a bike. A lot of them have physical injuries, but riding allows them to all ride together. We have hand cycles, recumbents, regular upright bikes, and we adapt the bikes for the warriors so that they can all ride together. That gives them an opportunity to have what we call group therapy on wheels.
How have you seen firsthand some of these veterans change in your program as they're cycling?
Well, I mean, we just started a ride yesterday in New Orleans, and we're riding across the Gulf Coast. And, you know, the first day, you'll see all the guys, they'll be off by themselves in the corner. They won't really talk to anybody. They'll just sort of be by themselves. And by the end of the week, they'll be in the middle of a group talking and laughing and having a good time. And you can just see over time, they go from being antisocial and sort of alone to being part of a group. And it was funny, this morning at breakfast, I was listening to one of the guys who did the ride last year talk to one of the new guys, and they were talking about their first day's experience. And the guy was like, I had no idea how much fun this was and how cool this was. And the vet that had been on the ride last year was telling him, he goes, the thing that makes this ride great is it's not the ride as much as it is the camaraderie and the fellowship that happens on the ride. He goes, you're going to go home with phone numbers, and you're going to have people to call. So when you're up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., you have someone to call that understands what you're going through.
Well,
and
John,
I think that's what part of the magic.
Part of the magic is, yeah. John Worden, thank you so much, Ride to Recovery, for all that you're doing for them. And please let them know that we appreciate and are so grateful for their service. And we're grateful every day. So
Yeah.
thank you. And
Thank you,
we're gonna
Christy.
Sure. And we're going to be right back.